A friend's given me this lovely old Honda generator which he's had knocking about in his garage for quite a few years to see if I can get it going again. It's covered in a heck of a lot of dust and it's quite dirty, but it looks to be intact. It looks like everything's there, so I'm going to see if I can get any joy out of it. Let's take a look at a couple of things. First of all, oil. Let's see. Blimey, that's not moved for a while. Right, okay, well there is some oil in, but it's looking a pretty black and horrible colour. That's obviously going to have to be changed. I wonder if they drained the fuel before they put it away to store. Let's have a look in there. Yeah, that's completely empty, although looking in there, that's not too good. It's quite rusty in the bottom of the tank, and there's lots of flakes of rust. That could cause a problem. Let's take a look at the condition of the air filter. That might give me an indication of the sort of general state of maintenance of the thing. Okay. Well, there is an air filter there, but that looks pretty grey and grubby to me. Wonder what it's going to be like underneath the foam. Yeah, maybe not too bad under the foam. Might be able to get away with just replacing the foam on that one. Here's the controls. So that's the same one as the fuel lamp, there's a choke. That's the carburetor bowl. Just want to have a look at that. Okay, so I've sometimes done these and there's horrible green gunge in the bottom of here because it's been left with petrol, but this is so dry I don't think there can be any petrol in there. Let's have a look, see if anything else. Yeah, it's coming off quite easily, that's not too bad. Oh dear, I don't know if you can see that, that's absolutely horrible. It's full of flakes of rust. If that's got into the carburetor, that is going to cause us major problems. Okay, we'll see how we get on. While I'm here, that's the carburetor flow. Okay, that's moving alright. Should float up when it's full of petrol and drop down when it's empty. So that looks okay. Well, just while I've got the carburetor bowl off, I'm going to use a wire brush to try and clean the worst of the rust out of the inside of that. I suppose it is supposed to be there to catch crap and stuff, but that's not too good really. Hope that hasn't got any further down the system. It looks like there's something wrong with the starter pull here. That's not pulling back all the way and it's got nuts in it. But when I pull it, you can hear there's some compression, so that's a hopeful sign for the future. I'm going to try and get this cover off, see if we can have a look at this. Just out of interest, this model has got a useful feature, which is this little thing here. So as well as the engine on and off switch, it's got a little warning light that lets you know if it's got not enough oil in, so that would be dangerous to run it if that was the case. That's quite handy. It stops you running dry, which could cause problems. Anyway, let's see if this file will come off. Okay, well actually that doesn't look so bad in there. It's got one of these with the spring in the middle and the cable wrapped around there. There's the little peg that engages, and that's flying in and out alright. I think that's probably okay. That's maybe just going to need a new starter cable without knots in, and quite possibly just by taking that cable from there and with that stationary wrapping one more turn around there, that'll take up the slack and actually give me the extra springage that I need without doing too much work in that. So that probably is fixable. Okay, well I've brought it inside and put it on the workbench, and I've managed to do that picking up a thread and throwing it round. So now with a little bit of oil on the pinion here, it's actually pulling quite well and attaching quite well, at least as far as the knot on the rope will let me. But I'm looking at this as well. I've lost quite a bit of the length of the rope there, and as well up to there. So actually the full length of the rope I can get is only about 1 meter, 3 feet. So I think I'm going to have to change the whole rope anyway, so you can give it a really good long pull to help it get started. So I'm going to try and dismantle this thing. Hope that there's not a massive spring that jumps out on me when I disconnect this nut. Okay, that feels like it's loose. Oh no, okay, it's a clockwork type spring. So actually this looks like it's not going to be too bad. That looks like the end of the rope there. There's the pull mechanism that flicks out. That's actually quite neat and quite simple. So with luck I'm going to be able to... Hang on, is that the clink? Oh right, there's the big spring there. Try not to let that fella fly away and go mad. And that hook there looks like it's going to locate on that bit there when I get it back in. So I'm going to try not to let that spring away and die. That's just a separate little spring. But that looks like, I don't know if you probably can't see in there, but that's just a knot on the end of the rope. So I think I'm just going to chop that, buy a new rope, replace the whole thing, and that'll give me a much longer pull, which will give me a better chance of getting it to start.